Okay, so here's the lamb here. This looks approximately 50 pounds. This thing is about, yeah, it's really big. Because this is, oops, a 6-foot table. So that's about, it tells you about how big that is. Nice size. And I'll be putting this on my smoker. Okay, so here we go. And got the Lonestar Grillz. What it looks like I'm gonna do, I already took my top grate out. The top grate, took that out. I got it off to the side. And I'm gonna lay the bottom half on this side. I'm gonna have to cut it in half. It's not gonna fit. I could probably force it, but it didn't look like it's gonna fit comfortably. So what it looks like I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw the bottom half over here, and then I'm gonna set the top half up here. I'll probably take this grate out right here, and that'll be gone. So I have the bottom half, and then I have the ribs up here, the rib from the waist down here, so it'll be an even cut. Or I might even take this one out. It all depends upon how hot I think it's gonna get, so it'll cook more evenly. All right, tomorrow is gonna be on. So this that lamb.
Step back.
Inside? There's nothing inside. What happened? What's happened?
All right. So I wonder if I should set it up on his knees, then cut, or just turn it.
Yeah, I'm thinking I usually cut it from the back.
Yeah.
Come on.
So did you get
Come
that
on.
smart?
Yeah.
Come around. So it's right there. Yeah, that's part of the nose. Lift up. Yep, chest cavity.
I hope I won't like this.
I was gonna get an axe and bust this open. So I'm gonna split that, cut that down, and cut through the ribs to the back and spread it out like that. It ain't gonna fit though. So I'm just gonna leave it whole like this. Fill this up with vegetables. It has some ribs, flavor. Yeah.
You pushing the silver on
And based on the fact that the customer wants it to look as whole as possible, I'm not gonna worry about trimming anything. I do think I should get this is I'm gonna try to get to as much of this membrane as possible. Since the ribs are, chest cavity is gonna stay closed. Yeah, come off fairly easy, so. You don't want this to stop the seasoning from getting to the meat. Okay, it's 5:30. I got up at 4:30 to get this off the ice. Get it kind of down to room temperature. Not necessarily all the way down to room temperature, but just get it to where it's not ice cold. I had a big block of ice inside this cavity here. And I had two more bags of ice as well to make sure this thing cooled off overnight. All right, so we're gonna get this rope off and we're gonna get it seasoned and then get the grill started and be on our way. Okay, some of that will roll off. This is really thick cut of meat, so I'm gonna flip that like that there. And like I said, the customer doesn't want, was more into presentation. I'm not saying that's a right or wrong, that's the customer's preference. So, it's not gonna be any carving going on here. I wanted to keep it whole, but I couldn't keep it whole. So, get here, there. you're trying to learn how to do a whole lamb, smoke a whole lamb, this is not a teaching video. So, experts, don't come for me. Problem is, when I was going through trying to figure out how I was going to do this, I went looking for some videos and I couldn't find very many. One of the reasons why I'm making a video, not to teach people, but just to document it, what I did, and also to be able to have a video doing something pretty exciting. Okay. All right. That's nice and seasoned. I don't want to overpower it, but at the same time, to knock out some of that gamey taste with this lemon pepper. All right. All right. Let's get up in there. Yeah, this one. Yeah. And we got that membrane out of there yesterday evening, yesterday evening. So that seasoning is gonna penetrate this meat. And it's not much meat between these ribs. I mean, there's a lot of meat for being a lamb, but it's not like it's pork. So got almost all that this in. All right, fella, almost time to go in. Okay, so what we have here is a couple of items on the side that we're gonna put inside the cavity. I'm gonna put some onions and some potatoes and some carrots. I'm not gonna put all of this in the cavity, but I'm gonna put some in the cavity to get it going. Then I'll put some aside in a pan, catering pan, you know, and get them, you know, roasted, smoked on the smoker, along the end of the, along the back end of the cook. But I'm gonna get some of this stuff in the cavity early, beginning of the cook. You know, a few onions, a few chopped up onions, and some carrots. And then normally I would throw some fruit in there, but this is lamb. This is experimental for me, so I don't want to do anything that the customer did not ask for. I'm shooting to have a very happy customer right here, so this is gonna be pretty interesting. And it's not all that. I mean, it's very basic, so think they're gonna have a nice meal and a nice time. It looks like that. It's going very well. So let's go ahead and get this up. Whoop. Yeah, it's going very well. And I didn't think that through. Go ahead and get this out. Outlet for enough. These poured in. Oh. Nice hot cold bed. Spread these out a little bit. Let's get some wood in there. And I need to get this thing up to about 300, you guys. So what I'm gonna do is need to get this to about 300. So I'm gonna put 2 logs in there. We're gonna put 2 off to the side to start drying it. I actually had these going pretty much dried out from my last cook, so they're gonna light pretty fast. So we're about 6:10. I want to get these on about 6:15 because I want to get it to the customer to about around 4 p.m. So I'm playing it pretty safe. Right, so we'll be back when it's time to throw the lamb on. Get this thing up to proper heat. My baby. Try something. If I can get it all in the chamber. Okay, so I want to say this it is 50 pounds. It's 50-pound lamb. I don't know why I said I wanted to say 50-pound lamb. Was able to get it all in there in the chamber. Thought I was probably gonna have to put something over here on my cabinet, but doesn't look like it. So I think I got some plans for over there anyway. But for the most part, was able to get this in here, and I'm gonna guess it'll be done by 4. I'm gonna hope it gets done by 4. If it doesn't, hopefully it doesn't go past 6. But I'm hoping it doesn't finish before 2 or 3. All right, so we'll be back. Check on where we're at. Plus, I'm gonna get some stuff in this cavity. I didn't forget, but I think it's a little too soon to stuff that cavity, so we're gonna wait a little while before we do that. Actually, we're not. I'll be back out in a little bit. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock, and the lamb has been on for some time. Getting a little dark right here. I threw some onions, and I'm gonna throw some potatoes in there later when it's time. Right now, just got the onions. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little foil over this here, just a little bit, because I want that to get too dark. Just a little bit. So that's what we have there. And now do the same for the legs a little bit later. Those legs right there. So that's what we got so far. 10 a.m. We're at 9 a.m. That's 2.5 hours in. So here we go. Chopped up some onions, potatoes, carrots, and done a little some seasoning to it. And we're gonna go ahead and send this out there, put this on the grill as well. Okay, so that's what we got here. It looks like we're looking really good, so it's time to go ahead and pull this. Let me get some pokes. Yeah, let me come back with my thermometer. We're at temp. Well, it looks like we're at temp, but I want to make sure we're good. So it looks excellent. See all that up there from that rub. I mean, from that mop. This flavor right there. So let's come back out. Probably get this off and get it into a ice chest so I can rest. So it is 11:23, basically 11:30. It's been on since 5:30. I mean, it's been on since 6:30. So it's 5 hours. Temping 139 right here. Other side, 139. So in the shank, 140. So it's time to go ahead and pull him. Well, we're only at 130 right here. So we're gonna get us a little more time. This will probably be done around 12. Go ahead and take them off and pull them around 12. Alright. Didn't expect to be able to keep this. See what do we temp here? That basically no, that's fine. This thing cooked really well. Yeah, so we got another 30 minutes and this will be done. I would pull at 130, but I have a one. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull it now. It's not as tender as I want it to be, but it's at the temp. And I didn't cook this at a high temp, guys. This was cooked at a 225. So it is amazing that it cooked that fast. 50 pounds. I don't know how that happened, but I'm not upset. Just surprised that it cooked so fast. Alright, we'll be back. I'm gonna go ahead and take these take the hams off, take the rear off, because it's temping at 140. Right where I want it. So go ahead and get this wrapped in some foil, let it rest. Get this out the way. That's that rub, that's the mustard and rub. That's still gonna be foiled. So, all right. So here is the roast, basically the back legs, and this temped around 140, 135, 140. It was in between. It was at 140. So I went ahead and pulled it. It wasn't as tender as I wanted it, so it was tender, but not as tender as I was trying to get it. So I cooked it at 225, and this finished basically in I put it on at 6:30. It's 11:30, so basically it cooked for 5 hours. Information I was given, it was supposed to take 9 hours, but it didn't. And we're here, and it looks good. So basically, I'm just gonna wrap this up and let it cool off, and it'll tender up a little more as these juices recirculate and everything. So this the hind end. The other end is not totally done yet, which we still got some a few temps that are not where I want them to be. So stay tuned. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead, use this mop for this base. Baste it a little bit for my face. I know I should just drop it on there, but I just don't want all of that sitting in one spot. So push that around a little bit. Just come back. And this is just something I made with, some butter, rosemary, and thyme. It's a nice mop. Let's keep this thing from drying out. And the fact that it's almost done, this stuff is going to be sprinkled along those potatoes, and it's going to go great. So it's all part of the plan. Everything's working out lovely. Yeah, so next time I come out here, I'll be taking this off. I got some temps around 130, 128, so we're gonna get those up. The 160 is not plugged into anything right now. That's my yellow. It's just hanging right here. Basically, it's hanging right there. But everything is at between 130, 128, 130, and the other ones aren't even plugged in. So let's go ahead and get this closed. Get this finished up. Okay, he is at temp 140. those veggies. Trying to get there. Yeah, he's a temp 140. That's up here. That's just chilling out over here. It's about 150 degrees. I mean, it's about 140 degrees over here. I'm just resting out. I'm gonna take that down. We're gonna take this out. We're gonna go ahead and get him in the 30 minutes of rest. We're gonna go ahead and get him in the cooler, and then we'll go from there. All right, so got the veggies still going, and we're gonna get that in the cooler. Oh, there you go. It's in the chest. Hold there. That's the back legs. That's the rest of the body up front. As you can see, this size. That is 36-inch chest. And we had to cut it in half. So basically that tells you the size that you got there. So right now it is 1:50. So basically almost 2 o'clock. This went on at 6:30. So that's 8 hours approximately, but it wasn't really on. The hindsight got taken off a lot earlier, a couple hours earlier. So, and that was the roast, but I had it closer to the heat because of the understanding that I had that it was supposed to take 9.5 hours, but it didn't. So here we are. We cooked it the whole time at 250 degrees, between 225 and 250. So lesson learned. It took me about so from 6 to 12, that's 6, and 2 more, that's 8. So let's say about 8 hours it took for this to cook. But part of it only took 6. So there we go. Hope we have a happy customer. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. God bless.